Hello everyone, welcome back to another review. The game we're reviewing today is Absolum. So, this is a game I found completely by chance. I was scrolling through YouTube as you do, and since I'm subscribed to Mick Gordon, a song of his from this game popped up on my main page. I was like, huh, Mick made the soundtrack for this game? Let's check it out. And so I did. God damn, am I glad that that happened. Because this game is awesome. This this is one of the most fun games of this year. It's so good. I oh my god, I love it. So we're gonna divide this video into four parts as always. No spoiler free, spoiler full division this time around because I just don't have that much to say. Like I don't really have much to spoil for this game, so we're just gonna do it like this with the four main parts concerning gameplay, visuals, story, and soundtrack without additional spoiler-free, spoiler-full divisions. Yeah, so we're already seeing gameplay in the background, probably. And yeah, let's just get to it. So, first of all, the gameplay. As I said, it's extremely fun. The gameplay in this game is such a weird mix of uh, Devil May Cry, Hades, and an old Flash game called Hobo. Not sure if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but yeah. And the result is amazing. This game is so much fun to play. You can just absolutely wreck everything and cause so much chaos. It's so fun. It's also two-player, as you can see. I played this game with my brother, and we had such a blast. God, it's such a fun game. I love the combat system. It's the kind of the combat in this game is the kind that you need to really like get into to like get good. Like it's the type of game where you will absolutely get your ass beat at first, but then slowly you'll learn what all the different enemies do, how to counter them, and so on and so on. So it's kind of like Sekiro or Sifu in that way, where you have to like actually learn how to fight certain types of enemies. And I love those kinds of gameplay designs. Sifu and Sekiro are both games that I absolutely love. And yeah, this one is super fun. Well, it's like, in part it is like what I've described, but you can also play it kind of like you got a lot of different ways to approach it because I like to take this kind of approach of this big, you know, skill-based approach where you actually learn how to counter the enemies and all that, but you don't really have to do that. You can, since also mentioned Hades when I talked about which games this reminds me of, and that's because there is a boon system identical to the one from Hades, where you can get different types of boons, like for your attack, for your special, for your dash, very much like Hades. And you can create game-breaking builds which remove all need for uh, all need for skillful play. So in that way, you can kind of play this game like in two ways. Or I'm sure there is more, like because there are builds that will work better if you try to counter because you can put stuff on your parry, you can put stuff on your counter, or you can just put stuff on your regular attack. And man, I'm going all over the place, but this game just has so many fun things you can do. Every You have multiple characters to choose from. There's four, and I think they're all really fun to play, and their playstyles are actually a lot different. Every character does have their own strengths and weaknesses, and you won't play every character in the same way, which I think is really cool. I uh, I just love the gameplay here. It's so chaotic, so fun, and just man, it's just I mean, you can see it probably. Well, I mean, okay. Well, the clips that we recorded were from when we started playing the game, so we weren't like familiar with how everything worked. So we might be sucking ass. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the footage after recording it. But my God, it's just so much fun, uh, especially if you're playing with someone else. I I mean, it's common knowledge that every game becomes more fun if it has a two-player mode. So I recommend if if you got someone you could play this with, I definitely recommend it. It's great fun. It's Man, I love this game. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the gameplay, I guess. I mean, I could, if I had to give a complaint to the, oh Jesus, if I had to complain about something in regards to the gameplay, then oftentimes it happens uh, that you just won't be able to tell what's going on, especially in two player. I mean, because I've only played the game in two player, so I can't really say how much the experience differs if you're playing it in single player. But in two player mode, it often happens that there's just so much shit on the screen that you get completely lost and you start pressing random buttons and you don't know what the hell's going on, which is, well, for the most part, it adds to the fun. But sometimes, well, when like you're at low health or you're fighting a tough boss, then it is pretty annoying when that happens. But overall, but overall, the gameplay just so much fun. Like you can absolutely just knock those enemies all around the screen. You can blow them up, cut them to pieces. I don't know. You can just wreck house. It's so much fun. I recommend. The gameplay is obviously the best part. It's just so much fun. It's really a game that I feel like you could get into. Like I keep comparing it to Sekiro or Sifu because I think it's a good comparison. It's the kind of game where you can really put some effort to try and master the combat to do crazy things. And I love those kinds of games. I love when games do that. So yeah, absolute absolute a blast of a game. Loved the combat. Hmm. Yeah, that brings us to the visual part. The visuals in this game are also great. I love the art style. From the second I saw the cover for the game on YouTube, I was like, "Whoa, this looks so cool!" So the art style of this game looks is really like kind of cartoony, and it reminds me of actually not sure, maybe something like Dead Cells. Well, I don't know, it's not quite like Dead Cells. Maybe that's a bad comparison, but well, you can see it. You have eyes. You can look at the gameplay in the background and decide for yourselves what the art style reminds you of. Point is, it looks really good. I love the designs of all the environments and characters in this game. Not just the playable characters, but like all the different enemies look super cool. All the bosses are awesome. Mm, man, it's a really good looking game. I think they nailed it with the art style. They really did. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I gotta say. I think the art style is super good. Moving on to the story. Now, I don't want to say that the story is the weakest part of the game, but I feel like it kind of is. I mean, all right, well, maybe I just wasn't following the story because I was too busy having the time of my life beating up all the enemies. I wasn't really paying attention to the dialogues, but I felt like the story is kind of hard to follow. I mean, I do get like the general idea of everything, but it feels like the game just introduces all sorts of like I don't know concepts or links. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Like I said, maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention to the dialogues. Maybe it's actually a great story that just kind of flew over my head because I was focused on beating everyone's ass. But yeah, I definitely wasn't like blown away by the story. And also, me and my brother, when we play a game together, we do like goof around all the time. So we kind of so we were kind of making up our own story, because we didn't really pay much attention to what was being said. So we just kind of started making up our own story and stopped paying attention to the actual one. So I guess I can like apologize for that. I'm sure the story is good. It's just that I don't know. It didn't like really grab me and get me invested. So no, maybe the world is cool. Like it definitely seems cool. Maybe there's a lot of really cool lore to this game. I just didn't really like feel compelled to try and figure out all the lore. I was way was way too preoccupied with having fun and laughing my ass off. So one story related thing which I think is really cool is that if you're in two player, then the characters will actually talk to each other, which I think is a really cool touch, and it's something that you wouldn't get if you're playing the game in single player. So I think that's a really cool like little addition. So yeah, that's that. Now the last part of this video is the soundtrack. So the soundtrack is the very reason I started playing this game. If I hadn't seen that the Mick Gordon song on my YouTube main page, then I wouldn't have touched this game. I wouldn't have even known it existed. And it turns out that Mick Gordon didn't actually make the whole soundtrack for the game. He only made one song. The one that popped up on my YouTube is actually the only song that he made for this game. And it is a pretty good song. Like it's really I don't even know how to describe it. It's one of a kind. Let me tell you that much. It's a one of a kind song. The rest of the soundtrack that was not done by Mick Gordon is still good. I definitely no complaints there, but I don't really. But apart from the Mick Gordon song, I can't really recall any of the other songs from the game. Like maybe one more. There's also one more boss whose theme is pretty memorable. But other than that, I didn't really pay that much attention to the song. It wasn't like sticking out. but it's definitely not bad. Like definitely not bad. And I'm pretty sure if I gave it a listen, I would probably enjoy it. But yeah, not the highlight of the game. The highlight's definitely the gameplay and the art style. Yeah, this game is just so cool. Like it has this. It's kind of it's like DMC in the way that it just has this aura of coolness to it. Like when you play it, you feel cool. It's such a it's such a good game. Holy crap. I I'm so grateful to the YouTube algorithm for actually giving me a good video recommendation for the first time in history. Because if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have known this game existed. And my life would be poor for it. Yeah, it's such a fun game. So if you're looking for like a challenging experience where you actually have to try to master the combat and like something a combat system that you can like easily get into, then Absolum is your go-to. I definitely recommend this game if that's what you're looking for. And if you have someone to play it with, even better. That just makes the experience like this amplifies the experience tenfold. So yeah, thanks for watching the review. That'll be it. I will see you for a special video soon. I'm planning to do a tier list of all the games that I've played this year because this year was absolutely crazy for gaming and I feel like it deserves to have its own sort of tribute video. So yeah, see you then.